Good afternoon, everyone, from San Jose, California. Today is a super exciting day. We're going to be experiencing something truly revolutionary in the general aviation industry. Cirrus aircraft on the SR-22. Come on board, you're going to want to find out what this is. Hey, Stevie!
Well, Ivy, thank you so much for having all of us on board today, Stevie and I.
My pleasure.
This is such a unique and honestly super cool opportunity to so we're in a super cool mood. But just to be able to see everything that you've worked on and just honored to be here. So thank you, and excited to show everyone what Cirrus have been continuing to revolutionize the general aviation community and making all of us safer and better and just not just for us but for our loved ones and for whoever's in the airplane too. So I'm really excited to see it today. So
I am
thank you.
absolutely so thrilled that you're both here, and you know, it's been a passion project for all of us at Cirrus and Garmin in combination, just kind of working on these pretty tremendous projects and bringing these technologies to the world.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I think, you know, one thing that's like super impactful for the SR series in particular is that it's so accessible to so many people, and bringing this technology that's been kind of up till now reserved for bigger, more expensive airframes, kind of down to the airframe where a lot of people actually learn to fly.
I've never been so excited to sit in the back seat. I'm so excited after that last flight. This is awesome.
Away we go. Here we
Here we go.
It's a stole, Cirrus.
Yeah, that's right.
So Ivy, on the G7 Plus, so there's obviously the amazing new safe return emergency auto land,
yep.
And then we have, I mean, there's the GDL 60 now.
Yep.
So that's super cool that you guys are doing the automatic database update now, which is amazing. And
yep. And then we've got the smart pitot heat.
Honestly, it's like sometimes the little things that are just like so smart, and I'm like, the whole 5 degrees or less and having it automatic, that's a really, I think, nice feature to have.
Totally agree. The same with the automatic fuel switching, really.
Right.
That was kind of one of those things where I never considered that I might need that.
Yeah.
But now that I have it, I absolutely cannot live without it. And then the runway occupancy awareness that you saw down in San Jose.
Was, I mean, that's like for me, like flying, like if you get on like a crazy new next generation, 787, that sort of level of technology in a single engine piston is pretty amazing. Yeah. All right, well, as we mentioned earlier, here with Ivy today, the executive director of the SR series, and we're testing the Cirrus aircraft brand new G7 Plus, testing out the safe return emergency auto land today. So happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation again. And we're seeing it, basically, it's going to do everything for us. So when Ivy tells me to do it, we're going to hit that button back there where Stevie is, and it is going to land the airplane for us. And Ivy, if you want to say a little bit of what it does.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, cool.
So basically, we're going to go ahead and hit the button. The emergency, or the safe return emergency auto land system is going to activate. For the first 10 seconds, the only thing it does is really engage the autopilot and alerts you to the fact that the safe return system has been activated. Okay. So anytime in that first 10 seconds, you can go ahead and disconnect it. There's no broadcast, there's no squawking emergency, there's no anything. After that 10 seconds, it moves into the next phase of the sequence, which is basically safe return takes control of the aircraft. So it takes control of all of the screens, the fuel pump, the flaps, the icing protection system, the mixture, and the throttle.
Wow.
And then it moves all of those things to fly a cruise flight to position for an approach to landing at the airport that it identifies as the most appropriate, safest airport to go land. So it's looking for an airport that's 4,500 feet long, paved, has a GPS approach with vertical guidance, and It's basically also looking at surrounding weather, surrounding terrain, how much gas you have,
Wow.
and taking all of these variables into account to determine the most appropriate and safest landing or safest airport to automatically fly you to and land and come to a complete stop.
So when we land, it does all the braking for you automatically?
It sure does.
The flaps stay at 50 or they go, how does that work?
So basically, when we hit the button,
Yep.
and as soon as it determines an airport,
Yep.
it will basically start configuring for that. You'll see the mixture move, you'll see the power move, and it's going to fly a nice cruise speed about 145 knots. Once it maneuvers into position for a kind of a long final, if you
Yeah.
can think about it, it sort of maneuvers itself for a final approach fix.
Yeah.
And once it gets there at the right altitude, and it might have to do a couple circles to lose altitude, it's not going to like descend you at a really dramatic rate. It descends you at a nice smooth rate. Basically, it will bring the power back. It will deploy the flaps to 50%, and it will fly 95 knots using pitch and power to maintain 95 knots on the approach all the way down to the landing. About 50 feet or so from the ground, it'll actually pull the power back to idle, fly the flare, and bring the wheels down to a touchdown. As soon as it starts to roll out after it touches down, it retracts the flaps and applies the brakes and brings the airplane to a complete stop. Then it brings the mixture to idle cutoff, shuts off the fuel pump, and shuts down the engine.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So basically, like here we are, we're kind of out flying around. Like kind of between Modesto and Stockton, and whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and hit the safe return button.
You hit the button.
And the plane is going to basically configure for landing and bring us into a full stop landing.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the button.
All right, we're ready for it.
Here we go.
Max, press the button and land the plane, please.
Here we go.
Emergency auto land
All right, so you see the
activating.
emergency auto land is activating.
Okay.
It's
Emergency
giving you a warning
auto
during
land
this 10
activating.
Second,
Emergency auto
the only thing
land
that's happening
activating.
is the autopilot is engaged in level mode. Now that 10-second grace period is over. The safe return emergency auto land has been activated, and it is controlling your airplane.
Wow.
4,500 if I can.
Just even the text and everything just makes it look simple.
Yeah,
and
it
where
just
you're
makes
going.
it a very, very simplified screen. It's identified Stockton as the safe return airport of choice.
Okay.
And basically it's just showing very simplified screens to show the passengers what's happening.
Yep.
So ATC's been notified. You're landing in 8 minutes. You're en route to Stockton. You're going 150 knots. You're at 2,500 feet.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk to ATC, you can, because
Okay.
all you'd have to do is just push the button.
Push that
here.
button.
All right, so we'll keep an eye out for traffic, and
Yep.
then I'm just talking to NorCal, and then I'll switch over to Stockton Tower.
Okay.
In a real activation, it would be broadcasting to NorCal approach to Stockton Tower on 121.5, so it would be broadcasting emergency. It would be squawking 7,700.
Okay, so it will squawk it do everything
Yeah,
automatically.
it does
Got
everything automatically. So basically, like, even if I pressed buttons on the autopilot or like tried to move the throttle,
It won't?
Like, it won't
Really?
move.
Wow.
It's basically got control
Look
of
at
the
that
throttle.
tree.
I just want to give a heartfelt shout out to NorCal Approach and the controllers at Stockton and San Jose, because you are incredible. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for letting us do this. And
All
you
right,
said-
so now we're
Yeah.
configured for landing. So it's going to
Okay.
go through this, hey, we're landing, we are approaching the destination, we're configuring the airplane for landing. You'll see the power come back, the flaps have deployed to 50%. Again, it's controlling the actual flaps, but it's not controlling the flaps lever. So we're going to get a flaps disagree
Okay.
caution message, but we don't care.
Okay. And you said it normally comes in kind of on a
Yeah,
Your
it comes in a
company
little
will
bit steeper and
yeah.
a little bit faster because it's assuming that you're loaded with ice.
Got it.
You know, if we're below 5 degrees, it's going to start basically turning on the ice protection system.
So it will do that automatically?
It'll do that automatically. Yeah. So basically, Safe Return has control of a lot of systems
Yeah.
on the airplane.
All right, so we're coming in.
Yeah, so we're coming in. We're 95 knots. It's kind of using pitch and power to maintain that 95 knots. A nice stabilized approach.
Those are nice here. It just says no action required. So people could, you know what I mean? They're just,
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
Is,
Like,
it's just,
you know, because I mean,
Yeah.
you might be here a minute before it finds an airport and it's flying you around. So it's just like a reassurance that, hey, like, don't worry, you don't have to do anything. The
Yep.
airplane is taking care of everything.
Yep.
Delta 630 Echo spot. Tower, Quebec, squawk is 0366.
Alright, so it's going to land a little bit long. It's kind of coming in. And basically, we're kind of flying 95 knots on this final approach, using a little bit of pitch, using a little bit of power. It is a little bit windy today, so see how it goes. Alright, so it's going to start bringing the power back.
Okay.
Flying the flare. And there's our landing.
That's so cool.
Sirius 2 Papa Lima, we would like to taxi back to 29er left.
Sirius 2 Papa Lima, roger at the end, turn left, cross runway 29er left at Bravo.
That was so cool to see. Thank you for
You're welcome.
showing us. That was really amazing.
I'm so glad that you guys made the time, and you know,
Yeah.
came and flew with us.
Thank
and
you.
Are excited about our.
We were
Our new
like
system.
we're like kids in the candy store flying
Yes.
up. We were like, oh my god, I can't believe we're doing this. Is so freaking cool. And like it was a
Yeah,
highlight.
we were like, how do we think they're going to handle this? And well,
Yeah.
how does it decide this? Like,
Yeah.
just so many different questions that
Yeah.
you've done an excellent job of
Yeah.
answering. So
No.
Well,
thank you.
thank you. And in reality, like kind of when we get back, I'm happy to sit down and answer. Like now that you've seen it in person and
Yeah.
you've got the tech brief,
Yeah.
happy to kind of sit down and answer any questions that you might have.
It was really cool. Thank you, Stevie, for doing it with me and doing it together.
Thanks for flying us
Oh,
up
it
here.
was so much fun.
I'm so glad that I got to fly with both of you at the same time.
Yeah.
What a thrill.
Me too.